There is nothing wrong with your radio.
Do not attempt to adjust the volume.
We are controlling the broadcast.
For the next hour we will control all that you hear.
You are about to experience the knowledge and insights of the media mothership.
Claps ahoy!
Claps ahoy.
Clapping, that's the sound of the audience applauding me finally having the show ready. You're listening to Edge Radio 99.3 FM. That was a song, the title, Fly.
Fly.
Yes. And it was really somber, really nice way of getting into today's show. And of course, this is Media Mothership.
Which is very somber, yes.
Yes. Welcoming you again to Media Mothership. And as always, I am
Dr. Craig.
Dr. Craig, but we're broadcasting out of Edge Radio Studios in Nipaluna, Hobart, Tasmania.
Yes.
A breath. We explore how media can shape our understanding of the world around us. What does that mean?
I've learned a lot on this show.
Thank you. I'm just going to assume that's true.
Yeah, probably.
As opposed to baiting me. It refers to the idea that, you know, if the classic example being, if you've never traveled to Japan and all you've seen are manga and anime media, then you'll have a kind of slightly skewed, unrealistic view of what Japan might be.
And then you get there and it's all anime and manga everywhere. So
it's like, wow. And then the drugs wear off and you realize it isn't. But you're in a police cell by then. So yeah, basically it's talking about, the kind of way media can define reality around us. So we're talking about kind of reality bending moments that we've come across in little media pieces that I've been collecting. In the past, we've also deep dived into classic radio drama and sound effects. And I do want to get back into that.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd like to make something for that too.
So I'm joined as always by Lord Taylor. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Excellent.
This week I've been trying mind control.
Wow. You know, one of the most fascinating things about training people to do radio, I've found, is one of the government legislations around radio is, you know, obviously, you know, you can't cause political sedition, right?
Yep.
There's various other rules. One of them being you cannot conduct, perform a hypnotic state upon people through media. You cannot subvert them hypnotically or through hypnotic suggestion via radio. So I'm just giving you this warning now.
Yeah.
But tell me more about mind control.
It's Jose Silva's mind control method, but it's not controlling other people's minds, it's controlling your own mind.
Oh.
It's about getting yourself into, like, they classify it as like alpha, like brain waves and beta brain waves and theta and etc., delta as well. And all of them like go down in different things, and it's like trying to get yourself into that particular brainwave state whilst you're in a waking state, which is makes you able to think up heaps of different things and take on information really easily and stuff like that. Yeah.
My favourite Nightmare on Elm Street movie, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, features this exact thing as its plot.
Yeah, well, it was then discredited because the creator of it then said you can go and then put your mind into plants that are 50 kilometres away and hear what's going on and stuff like that. But I have tried the first exercise of the mind control method, which is like when you wake up, like in the morning, you immediately then shut your eyes, look upwards at a 20-degree angle and count backwards from 100.
Okay.
And
that's meant to induce a particular mind?
It's meant to induce alpha brain waves, and it worked. It actually worked. So that part of it does work 100%.
To do what? In what way did it work?
So, like, you know when you're just about to nod off or you're daydreaming or something like that, and you just get to the point where you almost fall over and then you just jolt yourself back awake?
Yes.
It's exactly the same feeling as that, except you can think perfectly clearly through it. Like, you almost feel weightless and your you can't feel any of your bodily
Okay.
extremities and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Wow.
So that part does work. I don't believe in the affecting other things part of it, but
Lord
yeah.
Taylor in no way reflects the views and opinions of Edge Radio or Media Mothership.
But it would be interesting to see how it goes, because I'm going to keep trying this method.
Look, I mean, I do find that area fascinating. The idea of like mind hacks that one can do to help break bad habits.
Yeah, really, it's just a meditation is basically what it is.
Yeah, look, aspects of what you were saying reminded me of parts of meditative practice. Well, I look forward to hearing more about this journey.
I'll come back on enlightened next week.
Yes, you won't be here physically, but for some reason, your voice. So fascinating. Here we are now on various platforms. Yes, so we're obviously on the FM stream. If you do want to message us on the SMS, you can do so on 0488811707. You can obviously link mentally to Taylor's mind, which is open. I saw his eyes at a 45-degree angle just then, and he's clearly counting backwards. So feel free to project astrally your thoughts to Lord Taylor's brain. Or we're potentially streaming again on YouTube and Twitch. Gosh knows what delay we're at the moment. As people who've been following us for the last 2 weeks will know, we were on, I think it was 20 seconds out of sync 2 weeks ago. Between you would see our movement on Twitch, and then 20 seconds after that, you would see the sound corresponding to that. Last week, I got that down to 13 seconds. But I'd, made so many adjustments to the settings now that,
we don't know where we are.
Yeah, ChatGPT was no help. Gave me a maths formula to follow. It was at that level. It was at that time I realized I put everything back to 0 and we'll start from scratch.
Okay, yeah.
So I think there's possibly less of a delay. Nevertheless, still a delay. So I'm going to try to gesticulate while I'm talking so I can get a sense of movement. And the one solitary clap, round of applause to start the show was the sync mechanism.
Yeah, just so everyone can get it ready now, I'm going to clap my hands.
In applause for the great
1,
points.
2, 3. There, I clap them.
Oh, don't do that. You're horrible. Okay, so today's show, let's jump straight into the news.
Okay, here we go.
I could possibly find it. The little
Finding the news.
piece. Oh no, I was going to play a little clip thing.
Oh, okay.
I'll just do this. There you go. All right, this used to be the show's old intro. Not really a news piece. Maybe I'll just leave it in the background. So, story one I want to go through is picking up from last week's story, which was Doom.
Oh, Doom on everything, isn't
Doom
it?
on everything. Yep, so this is a piece on Kotaku, which popped up on my feed just this Monday. So, new story. Doom is now playable on a $2,000 plus lawnmower because why not? Finally, you can now mow down zombies, demons, and monsters with an actual lawnmower.
Wow.
And the picture's very amusing. Guy in a lawnmower mowing down the wonderful 8-bit graphics. So the story goes on to, of course, say, as we talked about last week. Last week we had Doom being played on a biofilm,
Yeah.
right? Biological matter.
Virus thing.
That was, nice and icky. So this is talking about the landscaping tech company Husqvarna. Husqvarna. Is that like Viking?
I don't know.
Sounds kind of Viking. They announced that the classic shooter featuring a lone space marine fighting off waves of demons with a shotgun and a chainsaw, a la Doom.
It's Swedish.
Oh, so well, there you go. They are Vikings. The Swedes are Vikings.
All of them.
Will be able to run some of its fancier robotic lawnmowers. Right.
Wow.
So the shooter game will be run on some of the. Okay, yeah. So it's not that the shooter game is going to be able to now pilot the lawnmowers, which had me troubled. Right. It'd be That would be like, who didn't see that coming? I didn't think putting Doom as the AI intelligence for the lawnmower would result in the lawnmower going crazy and embarking on a death rampage. Okay, this isn't a fan-made hack or weird unlicensed port. It's actually an official partnership with Bethesda.
Crazy. What are they doing?
Software.
Just go back to cutting the grass, mate.
It's a marketing thing, right? So Bethesda, owners of ID Software that were the original producer of Doom back in 1993, have gone into, an official partnership with Svanna, the Robo Lawnmower. So
it says they're robo mowers, so it's not, as the picture suggests up the top, where you drive the lawnmower, which is a ride-on mower. If it's a robotic lawnmower,
I'm curious to see the imagery because I imagine you'd be a human still on the lawnmower and you'd play it through like the accelerator would be going forward and so forth. So yeah, I mean,
it's got a picture of there, and it's just a tiny robo mower. So it's like, you know how you've got RoboVax. It's exactly the same as that. But
like
it's
one of those things you're cleaning a house.
Yeah.
Yep. So the new way to play Doom will arrive in April on all nearer robotic lawnmower models. You don't have to pay to play the game, so that's a sell point.
That is a sell point.
I mean, $2,000 plus. But
when it comes to that, sell points like that don't work either, because if you remember back a couple of years ago, you had which group was it? It was some musician, and they gave everyone no, it wasn't In Excess. Gave their album for free to everyone on
YouTube.
iTunes, Apple.
YouTube. It became the most hated.
Yeah, because nobody wanted it.
Yeah. And I think, if I remember correctly, YouTube themselves petitioned for this to happen as a gift to humanity. But it backfired horribly. I mean, I guess that's the difference, right? It would be one thing if the early iTunes players had playable Doom, playable Doom on it. That would be kind of fun, right? I mean, you probably wouldn't use it, but having that as part of your music library, I think for many people became a personal outrage, because they will personalize their music collection to them, and they've always got this Maroon 5 or something. I noticed when I load up iTunes sometimes years ago, there was another track, a Maroon 5.
Like Jagger or something.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the same thing here. Like, do people who want to mow their lawns want to play Doom? Is it going to in some way infiltrate like the app that they have to use to do it, and they click on it? It's like, oh, damn it, I've clicked on the Doom thing again. I mean to just mow the lawn. Well,
I think it's a short run thing as well, right? I mean, so they say at the end, don't worry, so it'll be removed. So sadly, this won't be a permanent feature that you can show off to family and friends. Instead, Doom and all its demons and guns will be removed from the lawnmower on September 9th.
Yeah, well, unless people hack it. I mean, because if it's a robo mower, people are going to, mod it and things like that. And soon enough, we'll be playing Call of Duty on there.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I definitely take your point that there's so much legislation around making sure people aren't distracted when they're driving or operating probably machinery like this. Is it really wise? It would be like, car manufacturers putting Doom on your car.
Yeah.
So, obviously that is unwise.
Yeah, unless it's a self-driving car.
Unless it's, talking of self-governing machines, the next story I want to go on to is the vending machine era, which revealed the secret face image database of college students. The story is from ARS Technica, and it's going on a story about how facial recognition data, which is used to prompt more vending machine sales. So I guess, as you go to buy something from the vending machine, there's some facial...
I don't understand how that works, because they don't. It doesn't then just say, "Oh, this person likes chocolate, so we'll put M&Ms in front." It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, I'm curious. Anyway, so the article goes on to say that in Canada at the University of Waterloo. At the moment, they're removing all of their M&M branded smart vending machines from campus because students stumbled across an error message which revealed that all these machines were covertly collecting facial recognition data without the consent of the people buying stuff from the vending machine. So the story goes on to say, so the student posted up on Reddit because they saw this error message that said invendor.vending.facialrecognitionapp.exe on the readout screen, which I've also noticed at the Kingston family court there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, their promotional LD panel has upgrade to Windows 11 on it. It's been there for a week. I guess they're not upgrading. Anyway, so there's the error message that was displayed on the machine. So he posted it up to Reddit, and wonderfully, the members of so there's an image there of it where you see an error, one of the classic kind of Windows error messages popped up with this.
Okay,
error.
so yeah, this looks like a vending machine that's got like a full-sized screen that it's got on there. It's not just like just a regular drinks vending machine.
And you think behind that screen is kind of all stuff.
Well, if you go up on the piece, it's like I mean that's a big picture for it to be on. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to know where exactly that display sits. On the vending machine. But anyway, he posted it up, and the Reddit post sparked an investigation from a fourth-year student. So again, maybe I should post up that image I saw at the local supermarket to Reddit, see if any fourth-year mechanical engineering students can say, actually, they're collecting your data crate. So the posted up on Reddit, student said, hey, this looks suspicious, and sounded an alarm that this was... And it's interesting because, the student consulted the Invendor sales brochure that promised the machines are capable of sending estimated ages and genders of every person who uses the machine without ever requesting their consent.
That's crazy.
So, he went to the webpage of the error was connected to, and then flagged it that, hey, looks like this is a...
It just seems like data that's ridiculous to me, because really you get, like, from the numbers of items that have been sold, you get what's popular. Why do you need the ages and genders of people? It's like, we've got men over the age of 40, we better stock it up with iced coffees or something.
Well, it'd be funny if they had music.
Farmers Union. If
they had music playing in the background, right? So they'd say, yes, people over 40 will play more Frank Sinatra or something, I don't know. But again, it maybe we should walk around with sticky tape to put over where we think these security cameras go. Okay, and going to our next story now.
Which is loading.
All right. I think I closed it for you. Anyway, right. So the next story, which I do want to get this. Next story is one about how cops were called after a Willy Wonka generated images of Wonka-like event. This is an article that's been reported widely, and the story is about how like school holiday break, and there was this promotion.
It was up in Scotland. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Yes, with your contacts in Scotland, letting you know. They promoted it, though, through a combination of these AI images, which, looked very AI to me when I saw them. Because I was thinking, gee, would I have really expected to see something like those images?
Yeah.
But when you do see the reality of what they've got, which is basically just pretty much an empty warehouse.
Basically.
Like
it was
not many pieces.
It's decorations, sort of like set decorations for an area that's an eighth of the size.
That's right, yeah. So all these families went along at some great expense, it seemed, or well, reasonably expensive tickets, it seemed. And there was massive disappointment on the first day. That was posted everywhere. So one guy on Facebook posted, "What an absolute shambles an event." I should do this in a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
I won't.
Go on.
What an absolute no, I couldn't commit to that. An absolute shambles of an event. Took 2 minutes to get through to then see the queue of people surrounding the guy running it complaining. Oh, right, so there's a queue of people complaining. The kids received 2 jelly babies and a quarter of a can of Bar's lemonade.
Why only a quarter of a can?
The Willie's chocolate experience. So clearly, yeah, it's kind of trying to, in a kind of like, how close can we get to not copyright? So they've tried to reference Willy Wonka, but carefully not say it's Willy Wonka thing. So it's Willie's chocolate experience, promised a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. So it would be like a maze they were trying to get through. The promotions featured 5 AI-generated images, which the article writer here, the author, says likely created with OpenAI's DALL-E E3. And that would be...
Yeah, it definitely was. Just looking at it, it's definitely a DALL-E image.
Right.
But have you actually gone onto the website that they had?
No. I've got the images up here.
I can't remember what the address of the website is, but it's something like Willie's Chocolate Experience or something like that. And it even has got, like, they've put in all of this AI data, which has then created words in the pictures. And so up the top of one of the pictures, it says something along the lines of create the entrance to Willy Wonka experience.
Right.
But all misspelled because it doesn't do text very well.
It's amusing if you have a look at news articles that have recently been featured on this story, because it points out that actually this one is different from the one I've got, but anyway, the Simpsons predicted this sad Willy Wonka inspired experience. The Simpsons episode which features a very sad Willy Wonka tour. So I read some of the workers that have been featured in some of the complaints have gone viral on the internet. Wonka actors said parents rioted as chocolate experience descended into chaos. Karen Gillian begs to be in movie based on the Glasgow Willy Wonka experience fiasco. Willy's Chocolate Factory experience Wonka actor speaks out about dangerous and heartbreaking event. Wow. A stand-up comedian hired to play Willy Wonka at the widely criticized Chocolate Factory experience has spoken out. Willy's Chocolate Experience Nightmare, what went wrong? Yeah, fascinating. Yes, this is really, really taken off in a fascinating way. Have you ever had one of those disappointing experiences as a child when you've been taken on a long car drive with your family and said, we're going to be going to the magical place for some candy or something? Or
I definitely have many, many times, but I just can't think of a specific event or where I was for it either. All I remember, this wasn't a bad experience, but going up to the northeast coast of Tasmania or something like that, and they had sort of like a marine park sort of thing, and you were able to buy a seahorse that was dried because it had like died of natural causes, and they just dried it out and you could take a seahorse home. And it's a bit strange, but I did buy one, but I was very young, and that was a good experience though, not a bad experience.
I remember some of the students I took on a Japan field trip.
Mm-hmm.
One group went to there was a penguin cafe
Oh, okay.
near the hostel we were staying at.
And
they
it served penguin. Was
So
it?
that's right. The penguins are the dish. No, there were real penguins there.
Okay,
They
good.
said it was filthy.
Oh,
It
right.
was really distressing and did not look pleasant for the penguins. Did you ever go to one of those animal cafes in Japan? There are a
No.
lot of cat cafes,
No,
and owl
no, no.
cafes.
Unfortunately, didn't. Really wanted to. Yeah, because you were there every time I did something, and there wasn't anything there.
Was the trip we took into Tokyo or Kyushu?
Fukuoka.
Fukuoka, right. Well, there were a couple of there's like the Kamikaze Museum. Did we
Yep.
make it down to that? Yeah.
You didn't. You went to a sumo event.
Yeah, that I couldn't believe you guys ditched me. In fact, I'd made the mistake of deciding the shoes I just bought were perfect for this walking trip I'd organised, and on the second day I realised these shoes are way too small. And so when the sumo tournament came to town, we're doing a whole day of sumo, and you guys.
Yeah.
And
Well, it was expensive, so we didn't go to that one.
It's sumo.
But actually, no. On Japan Talk, you know how we went there and we got chitza. Come on.
Vaguely, was this like at the McDonald's?
At KFC, chicken pizza.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've blanked this one out. What was it like? How did they serve it?
So it was like a chicken sort of round bit of chicken, which is like been hammered out sort of thing.
Okay, like a
Like-
chicken breast,
like a
and they've
chicken-
flattened it
sort of
to
like-
be like the bread.
Yeah, and then
On
it was like
pizza?
a parmigiana sort of thing on top of
Ooh.
it, but with like the secret herbs and spices, in it sort of thing.
Right.
Well, in the US, they're bringing that to the US now, and so probably over here as well.
I did eat, and this is a confession, one of those like heart attack burgers where they replaced the bread buns with 2 chicken breasts.
Was it nice?
Yeah, it was, sadly. Anyway, I don't endorse that or encourage people to do that. Okay, yes, so that's the Willy Wonka thing. Now the last bit of media I want to play, and this is more of an experiment to see how far we can go
That's very rude.
in it. Oh,
So
yeah.
turn it up
language,
at home.
language warning, I
Yeah.
guess. It's just an article on Cracked, and I'm always looking for articles which feature audio in them in particular. So this one really took my attention.
Well, that makes sense rather than vision
Doing
over the radio.
This is an article about 5 mistakes that made it into the final versions of famous songs.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to play the clips from some of the songs it's identified, and we'll see if you can tease it. I'll tell you what you're meant to be listening to. So the first one, number 5, is from the famous Beatles song "Hey Jude," and allegedly at the 2:59 mark in Hey Jude, you can hear effing hell.
Wow.
Effing hell. So I'm going to try to line
life
that
insurance.
Well, we probably should get life insurance.
Wait a second. Oh, right. Yep. It's just like, I've got to stop that. Sorry, hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, great. All right, so Hey Jude. So 2:59. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit of it, and we'll see if we can hear effing hell.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'll turn it up a bit. All right, there it was.
No, it was.
Let's play it again. So at 2:55, so 4 seconds, and you hear it. I think you heard it.
Yeah.
We'll do it once more.
Oh, yeah, just for fun.
Third time's the charm. I had that even clearer. What happened was one of the 4 guys yells effing hell, and according to their engineer, Jeff Emmerich, he says it's Paul McCartney's voice.
Wow.
Busted. Though Emmerich wasn't there during the recording, however. So he says John Lennon told him Paul let out that swear, And after he messed up on the piano, so Paul was playing the piano, he messed up and he said, effing hell. While others claim the spontaneous utterance actually came from John and not Paul. John said it was Paul. Others say it was John that said it. You'll notice the above recording, so if you go to the Cracked article, I will put links on the podcast. You'll notice the above recording labeled as a remaster, but the swear went out on every record. So it should be there even on the early pressings.
Might just be a bit more difficult to hear.
Interestingly, fans never noticed, right? The effing hell. The song played uncensored on the radio even, countless times. The radio was often so crackly and muffled that it's amazing anyone grew a taste for music at all.
Well, it's good that he swore in time with the music, so it sort of sounded like it went on with it.
Well, we'll hear it one more time. So you hear the piano. So the idea that John Lennon's saying is that Paul screwed up on the piano. All right, number 4. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. This one goes for quite a bit of time. So John Blunt's.
Who's John Blunt?
James Blunt. John Blunt is James Blunt's Muppet. James Blunt screws up the start of You're Beautiful. So James Blunt and the famous 2004 song You're Beautiful is interesting, if I can go into the story behind it. Right. It's that the opening of the song is wrong. Right, so there's a mistake he makes at the start of You're Beautiful, where he starts singing too early the song, right? And he wasn't supposed to.
And he
open
wrote
the
it
song
himself.
Like that. Right, so he starts singing too early in the song, and then he stops. And the song comes back in with when the singing is meant to start. So he does that. They left the mistake in the recording, both the original and the radio edit, and he liked it so much he kind of kept it. I'm not sure. I don't really want to play the whole start of it.
Well, it's only one line, isn't it?
Well, okay, we'll play it if my YouTube gets blocked.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We'll do it. Do it. I mean, it'll only silence it for a few seconds.
Okay, yeah.
All right. And maybe James Blunt doesn't. And his record label doesn't.
Oh, yeah, that sounds legit.
All right, geez, I've done it again. I'm playing it from the wrong source. Okay, hold on. All right, here we go. Oh. All right. Here we go. Focusing forward a bit.
Oh, that's definitely blocked.
My life is brilliant.
Here it is. So you see, My Life is Breathless, but the song keeps going, right? Because you realize he came in too early, and then the song kicks in a few chords after that, and he then sings the whole chorus, or the whole opening intro line. So it was a screw up, but he left it in there. Very interesting. Number 3 is Sex on Fire, which was a misunderstanding. In 2008, Kings of Leon walked into the studio with an idea for a song. The article goes on to say, verses were about intense feelings between two people. As for the chorus, they need to do it. The chorus would be one single line. It would consist of a preamble moan and then the words, "Set us on fire." One of the people doing the sound mixing listened in and said, "Sex on fire, huh?" That was ridiculous, of course, but the band now used that as the title for the song. And it was a running joke. So I don't know if you've heard that song.
Yeah, I hate it.
So we're not going to play it. Sorry for fans out there. The other one I won't play either, but I'll tell you the story behind it. Time After Time was a placeholder. So this is from Cyndi Lauper's song. Yes. So what I like about this story, so I'll read the story.
It's a good story so far.
Yeah. Cyndi Lauper, 1983, wrote the song Time After Time. The phrase time after time itself, which makes roughly 18 appearances in the song, in both chorus and verse, was a placeholder, however.
Okay.
Right. So the music was generated, as they say today.
AI generated.
AI generated for the song in 1983. But she just had that as a placeholder until she came up with the right lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
She had all...
And it ended up that they were the right lyrics.
But it gets better. Producer Rick Kurtoff asked for one more... so what is it? She had all the songs she wanted for her next album. The producer Rick Chertoff asked for one more, so she took inspiration from a film title she saw in a nearby issue of TV Guide. The film was Time After Time, starring Malcolm McDowell as H.G. Wells traveling through time to fight Jack the Ripper. And yeah, it's called Time After Time. I had no idea that was the inspiration for the placeholder for the song, which then became the song.
So the song was named after the movie. And now the song is really well known and the movie not so much more.
That's right. Well, yeah, but it's what we're trying about. They kept the phrase time after time, but they didn't plan to leave those words in. Then in the end, they decided the words worked fine. Mm-hmm. The song is about someone being there for you unconditionally forever. Time after time. Maybe if I sang it, it wouldn't get blocked. They'll be there for you time after time, the song says. And yet that's not what time after time means, the article argues. In another context, time after time simply means frequently. So time after time I've been eating chocolate. Is that right? Doesn't sound right at all. For example, we could say that karaoke singers choose time after time, time after time. Okay, yeah. Karaoke singers choose time after time a lot, or time after time, time after time. We can say that in Time After Time, Cyndi Lauper says time after time, time after time. But we shouldn't say this song is so great, people will be singing it time after time. That's not what the phrase means. Or at least it wasn't what it meant until the song gave it this new meaning. It's confusing, isn't it? All right, the last one I can play, or I can attempt to play, if I can get it queued up. It's a Sting song. So it's Roxanne. Roxanne, you don't have to. How was the rest of the song go?
I don't know what.
Okay, Police's Roxanne starts with Sting laughing, which you may not have picked up on. Now, the lyrics, though, aren't funny. So people have kind of been thinking, why does he laugh at the start of this quite serious song? So the song, of course, is about a woman urging her to take the night off instead of doing her normal Parisian sex worker job. But the laugh is kind of, very cheery tone. So the... we can see if we can try and hear the laugh at the start. I don't know. I can't remember how far into the song it is.
It's got to be at the start, obviously.
I hope so. Don't want to get a second. Anyway, let's play it. All right. What's that? Do you hear it?
Yeah.
It was into the video.
Yep.
Which we'll have a listen to again. Just before he laughs, 2 seconds before that, you'll hear this discordant clang.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Which is the sound of Sting accidentally sitting on the piano. So he accidentally sat on the piano's keyboard, making this sound.
Which made him laugh.
Well, he thought the keyboard lid was down, but it wasn't. It was open, and he sat down, and he made that sound. So he laughed as he blundered into that.
Yeah.
So they included that, though, with the laugh in the final recording. So, but let's listen to it again. So see here if you can hear the sound of kind of someone sitting on a piano keyboard, and then Sting's laugh.
It's like, doom.
It's very interesting. So we'll hear it once more. could sample that and incorporate it into the show from now on.
Yeah.
When I want to cut to a... Anyway, we'll see if YouTube or Twitch blocks me for playing that. Well, there we go.
Why didn't they re-record it? That's all I can think.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst one. The worst song that I can't unhear is the Rock the Casbah.
Okay.
Because just before the chorus, I think, you can hear this Casio watch of the General Lee sound. Dun, 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 dun. And it just irritates me. And a friend of mine, we were listening to a friend of mine's music collection, and he was a notorious downloader, so he downloaded it. And I was saying that song has been hacked, because surely this song wouldn't have dun, 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 from a... But I looked it up on the internet, and sure enough, one of the musicians got there late from the Clash, right? One of the musicians got there late, but still wanted to participate in the song, threw a kind of fit, and decided that his contribution was his new Casio watch and the alarm on it. This is like 1983 or something. The alarm on it, which was the General Lee, that he would then try and fit into the beat and play it. It's offbeat though, right? It's too fast. And it's horrible, and I can't unhear it now.
What's the point?
All right. Okay, well, look, this has been Media Mothership for another week. Thanks for all the comments. Well, I could have encouraged people to post in for their own. And
just any comments that you make under your breath angrily, that's fine. As long as you're making a comment.
We'll get around to it for K-Pop Unlimited.
Yeah.
So K-Pop Unlimited is coming up next. What's happening on K-Pop Unlimited?
Great music, lots of J-pop, ding dong.
Is there any swearing? Accidental or deliberate?
Can't remember.
Is there anyone sitting on a keyboard and laughing?
No.
All right, well, we'll find out. I'll ask ChatGPT various questions about the songs we're about to play. So keep listening. Coming up at after 5 will be K-Pop Unlimited. But thanks for listening now to Media Mothership. I've been Dr. Craig, joined by... What's his name?
I don't know.
Lord Taylor.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
Show notes and links to the articles we've discussed will be available on YouTube or the podcast notes in a few weeks whenever I can upload this episode. Next week, we'll be diving further into, hopefully, Shogun.
Oh,
yeah. I want to investigate the new Disney FX Shogun series. Well, I've always had a fraught relationship with the novel, published 1973 by James Clavell, as well as the 80s wildly cherished mini drama, like 3-episode, huge TV sensation with Richard Chamberlain and Toshiro Mifune. I say that confidently. Toshiro Mifune. So yes, next week hopefully we'll get around to that. It could be quite exciting. So keep listening now to Edge Radio 99.3 FM as I unpack all my gear and allow Taylor to set up all his gear.